Well, Happy New Year to all you awesome principals out there, and congratulations. You have survived your first 6 months as principal. And yes, I know it has been a wild roller coaster ride with its ups and downs, but you have survived. You've made it, and for that, I want to say congratulations. Congratulations for the commitment that you've made to this profession and for the students and the families that we serve. Congratulations for having the courage to make difficult decisions. Congratulations for being able to have those crucial conversations to help others to grow, all for the benefit of our students that we serve. Congratulations on being able to gently nudge others to help them grow. Congratulations on the relationships that you've built, and congratulations for the smile that you've brought. So congratulations, you've made it. 6 months of success. The best is yet to come. January is an awesome time for reflection. Let's think back to the things that we've done well over the year, things that maybe we didn't do so well, and how we can improve and to make some new commitments. Well, I want to reflect upon my first few years as a principal, so maybe that I can bring some advice to you to help you in your new role. I remember when I was hired as principal at Sugarloaf, I was so excited because this school was within my community. It was a fairly new school. It had only been open for 4 years. And I was becoming the third principal in 4 years. Sugarloaf had had a very tough start. The students were not growing. They were not proficient in their test scores. The teacher turnover rate was high. Behavior referrals were high. And there was a lack of parent and community support. So I knew I had a difficult road ahead of me, but I was so excited and full of ideas and ready to jump in feet first. And that I did. As principal, I focused on the 7 habits, and I began immediately. My first day in the building, I started having conversations. I knew I had to be proactive. I need to think about what was my role, my responsibility as principal, but I needed to have a full picture of Sugarloaf. I needed to know what was the first year reality. Why had Sugarloaf not been successful in the past? What were some of the good things we were doing? What were some of the pluses, but also what were some of the deltas? And then also, what was our vision for the school? What did we want to accomplish? So I had to think about the end, begin with the end in mind by thinking about my purpose as principal, the purpose of my students, my families, my staff, and my community. And that all began with us collectively creating a common vision, a common daily mission, and collective core values that we would all abide by as a school family and commit to. And that began with us establishing our why. Next, we had to put first things first and prioritize. There were so many deltas out there. We could not fix all of them equally at the same time. We had to prioritize. And to me, the greatest priority at the time was school culture. Had to really focus on building relationships and helping to create a sense of identity for Sugarloaf. Who were we and what do we want to be known for? And to create a place of pride. Like I said earlier, there's so many issues out there in deltas. We wanted to focus on as many as we could. We wanted to be successful, but we had to focus on things that were within our circle of influence. And we also had to think about which decisions we could make that would be mutually beneficial to our students, their families, our staff, and our school community. We had to think win-win and get ideas out there on the table that were mutually beneficial for all. That began with us seeking first to understand them being understood. We had to truly listen to all stakeholders and value their voices, the students, the staff, the families, and the communities. Listen to what they felt like were the things that Sugarloaf was doing well and where we could improve on and what their ideas for improvement were. And then we had to work together and cooperate and synergize to make these things happen. And that began at the school level with us reconfiguring our committees and establishing lighthouse teams that allow the input or the voices of staff, students, and families. And then we put in place action teams that would look at problems and then come up with solutions and then move forward with solving those problems. There were so many personal celebrations along the way. One of the greatest celebrations that I often talk about is the results of our teacher working conditions survey, because just in 3 years, we had a 40-point increase in the number of staff members at Sugarloaf who felt like Sugarloaf was a place of trust and mutual respect, and they loved being a part of the school. In addition to that, our test scores were on a rise. We were on a positive trajectory with our ELA and math scores. Also, our teacher turnover rate had decreased. Our student behavior referrals had decreased, and we had parent meetings where the parents were coming in and participating and joining us, and our staff made a concerted effort to get the community in as well. So our very first community showcase we had 30 members who came, but in just 3 years, we increased that number to over 150. Lots of celebrations along the way. But I have to tell you what, that this journey was exhausting. We went fast, and if I could encourage you to do anything, is to slow down. Slow and steady wins the race as well. So one day I decided to reflect upon this journey and the successes that we had had along the way, and think about, what have I left out? What have I forgot? What have I forgot to remember? And I realized that one of the greatest things that I had forgotten along the way is me. I know that sounds very selfish, but I had forgotten to take care of me. I had forgotten habit 7. Stephen Covey talks about often we are so busy with sawing that we forget to sharpen the saw. And that's what I did. I forgot to sharpen my own personal saw. And I had a wake-up call. One day I'd gone to the doctor because I was tired, not feeling well. And I learned that I had gained 40 pounds in just 3 years. My blood pressure was high, my cholesterol was high, and I was at risk of diabetes. So I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because, yes, we had accomplished so much in 3 years, but personally, look at the difference that 3 years had made in my own life. So I was embarrassed. I was a principal at a Leader in Me school, and I was not even practicing the 7 habits. Most importantly, I was not practicing sharpening the saw. So I had to reflect. I had to reflect on myself. What was I doing to my body? I was not eating right, not sleeping, not exercising. I was so focused on the next best literature on growth mindsets or reaching kids of poverty or student engagement that I was not reading things to grow me personally. It's not taking care of relationships outside of school or serving in my community. And I was definitely not laughing enough and having fun. I was going to church, but I was not really meditating and keeping a journal, praying, or just being thankful. So I had to make some changes. And most importantly, I needed to drop those 40 pounds that I'd gained. My daughter was leaving for college in August. So I set a wildly important goal for myself that from August to January, I was going to lose those 40 pounds. The lead measures that I put in place for myself was to monitor my calorie intake, to monitor my carbs, increase my steps to 10,000 or more, and increase my water intake. The compelling scoreboard that I chose to use was a fitness app on my phone. I also bought a Fitbit to help me count my steps. But the thing that helped me the most was this idea of cadence of accountability. My accountability partner was someone you may not think of as being a person of influence within your school, but to me, Captain Dan, one of my custodians, was an influential person in my life that helped me become successful. Captain Dan was my after-school custodian that was there after the students and staff had left, and he would see me walking the hallways, and we'd have conversations, and he'd ask, "What are you doing?" And I explained to him about my goal, and so he would check in with me and say, "How are you doing today? How many steps do you have? Are you getting close? I believe in you." And so for Dan, I am very thankful. I'm thankful for the influence that he had and for that cadence of accountability that he provided for me and helped me be successful. Because in 6 months, in January, not only had I met my wildly important goal, but I exceeded it. I lost 50 pounds. And it just helped me with my energy, my health. I had more time to spend with family, with friends, and I became a better principal as a result of that. So thank you, Captain Dan, for helping me and holding me accountable. So my charge to you as brand new principals is for you to reflect on yourself personally. Have you been taking care of you? Are you practicing self-renewal? I want you to visualize habit 7 and think about the body, the heart, the mind, and the soul. Visualize how you can balance your life. Then I want you to commit to a daily private victory in your life. What can you commit to each and every day for you to take care of you? What is one action? And I want you to be able to share that with us when we meet at our face-to-face meeting as principals this month. And then I want to challenge us to serve as accountability partners for one another. Let's be that Captain Dan that holds us accountable, that checks in with us, that supports us. Also, before our face-to-face meeting, I want to encourage you to watch this video that Sean Covey videoed. He talks about how, if he does not seek daily private victory in his life, how his day can be derailed. But if he truly focuses on balancing his heart, his mind, his body, and his soul, he actually is more successful throughout the day, which makes him more successful throughout the week, throughout the month, and he becomes a better person. So watch that video about how to make a daily private victory in your life so you can be successful in all areas. And then finally, here's a toast to us. All of us are principals and have tough jobs. Yes, we have very stressful jobs, but I want us to commit to one another. Let's commit to that daily private victory, and let's commit to taking care of each other and holding each other accountable. I thank you for the service that you provide every day for your students, the smiles that you bring. I thank you for your hard work. I thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being an influence on others. Have a great day and Happy New Year.